Rabbit class. It's Miss Higby. It is the 21st of April, and I am here to read the next chapter of The Royal Rabbits of London. Yesterday's video was slightly delayed and I only managed to post it today, so I do apologise about that. I'm not sure if it was my computer, the internet, or YouTube, but Chapter 1 is now live on my YouTube channel, so make sure that you've listened to Chapter 1 because this video is about Chapter 2. Okay, hopefully you're sat comfortably at home and we'll get started. Chapter 2. Shiloh set off on the underground rabbit rail deep beneath Green Park, accompanied by Laser, Zeno, Beldapaw and Clooney, who had all a meeting at Fox Club under the Prime Minister's residence at number 10 Downing Street. They had insisted on first seeing Shiloh safely into the van that came to London once a week to deliver vegetables to a posh hotel. While Shiloh hitched a ride back to the countryside in the van, the Hopsters would take the rabbit rail to the Fox Club for their meeting. Long ago, the Royal Rabbits had taken great trouble to build a complex network of tunnels underground to enable them to move swiftly and efficiently around London without being seen. Now, as he whizzed along with his ears flapping in the wind, Shiloh thought how funny it was that all the people above walking to work or cycling under the trees had no idea what was below their feet. Shiloh felt proud to be with these Hopster rabbits, to be one of them. He might not have the confidence of Clooney, or the strength of Zeno, or the wit of Laser, or the cunning of Beldapaw. But as Horatio had said to him when he first left the Warren, "I have great faith in you. You're going to discover that there's more to you than you ever imagined." And now Shiloh knew that his old friend had been right. He had come all the way from the countryside to London on his own and had helped the Royal Rabbits solve many plots and defeat the evil Ratsies. He lifted his chin and smiled happily at the thought of seeing his mother again and making her proud, even though he knew he could never tell the rest of his family the truth about his adventures in the Grand Borough. Once the train stopped at the Weeping Willow, Shiloh followed the other rabbits along a tunnel that led to the city above. He could feel his heart jumping about in his chest like a cricket. He wasn't fond of the human world. It was full of dogs and cats and, in the countryside, people with guns, like Farmer Ploughman who had shot and killed Shiloh's father when the bumpkin was a kitten. No, he did not like the human world at all. The group stopped beneath a big round metal object with small holes in it that allowed light to stream in. Zeno, being the strongest, pushed it up far enough to see out. The rumbling noise of cars and buses grew louder. Shiloh squeezed in beside the Marshal of the Thumpers and looked out. He could see the pavement. Bollards, parked cars and a few human feet shuffling hurriedly past. They dropped back down into the tunnel. "We're close to the hotel where Shiloh will get the van that'll take him home," said Zeno, as quietly as he could, which wasn't very quietly at all because of his booming voice. "But we need to get round the back where they take the deliveries. Once the coast is clear, I'll hold this open and we'll shoot across the alley opposite and hide behind the bins. Got it?" Beldapaw, Laser and Clooney nodded. "Got it," they replied in unison. Shiloh just nodded. He was unable to speak because his chin was wobbling and his teeth were chattering. Why was he so nervous? His stomach made a whining noise as if he'd swallowed a kitten who was very unhappy to find himself in his belly. "Don't worry, Bumpkin," whispered Laser kindly. "You're only nervous because you care. It means a lot to you going home." "You will get home safely, Shiloh," murmured Beldapaw softly. "And if you don't, we'll remember what a delightful little rabbit you were," murmured Clooney, grinning. That's not funny, Laser snapped. Be quiet, you two. We're on an important mission, said Beldapore bossily. Zeno lifted the round lid again and looked up and down the street. Go! He growled suddenly, raising it higher to let them through. One by one, the rabbits darted out into the glare of the day and the noisy chaos of the human world. Shiloh scampered after the bigger rabbits, almost tripping over his clumsy hind paws. He didn't dare look about him in case he saw something scary, like a dog or a rat or a human. He dodged a bollard, leaped over a takeaway coffee cup, and dashed into the mouth of the alley, where the others were hiding behind a row of big square bins lined up against the wall. Good job, said Laser, as Shiloh joined them. The small rabbit was panting and shaking, but trying very hard to conceal both. Zeno lifted his paw and beckoned them on down the alley over the cobblestones towards the courtyard at the other end. He stopped and pressed himself flat against the bricks. Shiloh cowered against the wall. His nose had picked up the scent of dog, and he shuddered. Suddenly, their attention was seized by a rustling sound in the bins. They turned and froze. Zeno snarled, and the fur on his arms bristled. Laser put a paw on her whip, and Clooney narrowed his eyes. Beldapore bared her claws, preparing to fight. Shiloh gulped, and his stomach gave that gurgle again. He put a paw there to silence it, as his highly sensitive nose picked up a faint whiff of fox. A bottle dropped onto the ground with a clatter and rolled noisily over the cobbles. A squirrel scampered out of the bin and disappeared down the alley. The rabbits let out a sigh of relief and turned their attention to the courtyard once more. A white van with the words Ploughman's written in big green writing was parked at the back of the hotel. The rear doors were open and Farmer Ploughman was unloading crates of vegetables and carrying them into the building. Shiloh recognised him at once. The very same man who had shot his father. The man who had unknowingly had driven him up to London in the spring in his crates of cabbages. Shiloh remembered the taste of the sweet cabbage, and his mouth watered. Well, Shiloh, my friend, Zeno boomed, this is where we part ways. He patted the little rabbit so hard on the back that Shiloh nearly choked up on his breakfast, which would have been a shame, as he'd really enjoyed it. Don't get too comfortable and decide not to come back, said Laser. You're one of us, added Beldapore. Well, a smaller version of us, quipped Clooney. Laser snarled at him again, and he shrugged sheepishly. Shiloh was about to scamper over to the van when a great big Rottweiler wandered out of the hotel and lay down right beside it. The rabbits looked at one another in dismay. How was Shiloh going to get to the van now? Shiloh's ears flopped over his face with disappointment. He bit his bottom lip to stop it from wobbling, but it wobbled all the same. He watched helplessly as Farmer Ploughman appeared, slammed the van doors shut, and walked round to sit behind the wheel. Still, the enormous dog didn't move. Well, I suppose we could try again next week and bring a juicy bone, said Clooney with a sympathetic smile, but no one smiled back. Shiloh couldn't go home next week because of the Dutch state visit. Shiloh sniffed and hoped that Beldapore wasn't going to be sweet to him, because then he really would cry, and he was sure royal rabbits were much too brave to do that. Then they heard a whistle, the sort of whistle that demanded attention. It came from above. They raised their eyes to the roof of the hotel, and there, grinning down at them, was a sleek fox. The fox Shiloh had smelled earlier. She was wearing a dashing red tracksuit with a bold stripe down each leg and reclining on the slope of the roof, as if she wanted to soak up a little sun. I've got an idea, she said casually, gazing down at them with her beautiful, intelligent eyes. A rabbit like Shiloh shouldn't be roughing it in the back of the van anyway. Shiloh's heart gave a little jump as it was injected with hope. For the Red Velvet was a secret agent from the Fox Club at number 10 Downing Street. The vixen slid effortlessly down the drainpipe, as if she were a squirrel, not a fox. She looked down at the young bumpkin and took his chin in her paw. You want to go home, Shiloh? He nodded. Then come with me. And there we got a picture. There's the rabbit hiding behind the bin. And at the top, got the fox. And that is the end of that chapter. Oh, so I wonder what Shiloh's going to do next. Will he find a different way home? Or will he choose to go with the fox? I wonder. Come back tomorrow for chapter 3. And I hope that you've all had a really good day today. I hope that you've been enjoying the sunshine and been playing outside. And I really hope that you're keeping safe and well too. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.